friends, and my voice went funny there. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So this week, I don't know why, I've just been in the biggest thriller mood, and I guess it's because it's autumn here in South Africa and we're going into like cold, cozy weather, and I kind of just want to curl up with a book and read something thrilling and scary. I've just been in the biggest mood for thrillers, so I thought this week we'd do a video reading thrillers. Without further ado, let's just jump straight in and I'll show you what our TBR is for the week. So I think I am being really ambitious here because, as you know, I am like the slowest reader ever. We have 3.5 books on our TBR. So we have 2 new releases and then a book that I'm in the middle of, and then an older release that I've just always wanted to read, so I thought we'd throw it in the mix with this video. As you can see, I haven't properly filmed for a while, so we're learning again, so just stick with me please. So the first book that I'm currently reading, I think I'm about, I want to say 30% in. I was going to say 40, so it's 30% in on chapter 16, and it is on my Kindle. It is Want to Know a Secret by Freida McFadden. As you know, Freida McFadden's writing is literally like crack, like it just sucks you in and you cannot stop reading. I did read The Teacher, which everybody hates it on. I know it's a taboo subject, but I still found it really gripping and enticing. That is kind of what I associate her books with. So it's very fast paced, not too much thinking needs to be done. You kind of just need to follow along with the story, which is kind of the mood I'm currently in. So I am enjoying this. It is about quite a wealthy neighborhood. I wouldn't say like bougie, but definitely a wealthier neighborhood, and all the neighborhood wives like don't have jobs. Our main character, she is a YouTuber and she does like a food channel, but she has a tainted past which no one knows about. So we're getting little sprinklings of this, and she keeps getting these text messages like where someone is kind of watching her / stalking her. Her new next door neighbor, who doesn't come from a wealthy family, is kind of giving a weird vibe. She's kind of like hot and cold, and it seems like she's kind of jealous of her. So yeah, I don't know where it is going. There was a little incident like in the first couple chapters, which I think the first chapter even, where her son goes missing and he was playing in the backyard, and then there's kind of a back and forth between her and her son because he wasn't meant to leave the backyard, but apparently he went over to the neighbor's house and asked if he could play and said his mom had given him permission. But then when she like reprimands him for this, he says, no, you know, the neighbor came to the fence and said, you said I could go play. So the neighbor's giving creepy vibes. Our main female character is kind of obsessed with this neighbor's husband. She thinks she's so hot. Not obsessed, but like she's really attracted to him. Like she gets breathless and gets tingles when he touches her accidentally. So I think there's something going on there, but I also think that they want you to believe that. Anyway, this is going to be the longest intro ever, but that's kind of where I am in the book. I'll give you more updates the more I know. I'm only 30% in, so I might be very wrong. But I'm really excited to finish that. The next book we have on our TBR, I don't know in which order I'm going to read them as always. I just kind of pick them depending on my mood. So the next book I have here is Verity. I don't really know what this book is about, but I've heard it gives creepy vibes, so I thought I would put this on here. But I know it does cover domestic abuse and like a plot to kill. It does say it's a thriller, so it does fit into the video. I was a bit scared because I know Colleen Hoover is mostly known for writing romance, or contemporary romance. So it says a thriller that will keep you up all night and a twist that will leave you reeling. So I have heard little snippets about it, obviously, because it came out, I want to say 2020. Oh, actually 2018 it says here. So this came out in 2018, which is a while ago. So it's not as popular anymore, obviously. So there's people who have done deep dives. I've tried not to watch it. I did want to read it, but it gained so much popularity. It was really expensive to get an essay, but I ended up getting it from Asda, so it was like a $5. So that was fine. But I've heard like little snippets, like I was saying, about it, and it sounds interesting. And again, Colleen Hoover is one of those authors that just like, it can suck you in. Font is like a dream. So hopefully I can get through this really fast. Then this is one of the new releases. This was released this year in 2024, and it is I just got lipstick on the side of my book because I hit myself in the mouth. So this is The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. I did mention in my haul video, or my TBR video, maybe haul video, I did read the back, and it's kind of, it says a lyrical, grotesque and pulsing with feminist rage. This is sapphic horror at its finest. I'm not going to read the entire back, but this is just like, I guess, a small summary. But it says, as Jude and Zara's darkly terrible paths drive them even further into the occult, they arrive at the same grim location, the apartment of a murdered woman. And there they find a strange business card inscribed with the words Emma Bryn, curse writer. Emma, Jude, and Zara's lives are now unavoidably intertwined. The three damaged young women, one cursed, one hunted, one out for revenge, must track down and eliminate a brutal supernatural killer before they too become victims. It sounds pretty interesting to me. I don't know if I like the horror aspect because I don't like gore, but we'll see. Maybe it could change my mind. Then the last book, again, is another new release, and this is the reappearance of Rachel Price. I did mention that I don't really like Holly Jackson. I did love Five Survive. That was so fast paced. I think I read it in a day. Like, it was so quick and things were just happening, and she had really unlikable characters, and there was just a lot of things that I enjoy in a book, and the suspense, and absolutely loved it. The plot twist was, but it was just so fast paced and it kept me entertained the entire time, which is what I love about thrillers. This one is about a woman that goes missing and then reappears, and her daughter is participating in a documentary about the disappearance, but she was only 2 years old when her mother disappeared, so she doesn't remember much. And then when her mom reappears, her story's just not adding up. So the main character, I think her name is Belle, yeah, her name is Belle, and she kind of goes on this quest to figure out whether her mother's telling the truth, because it just doesn't seem like she is. So she joins forces with like one of the guys that was on the documentary with her, or working on the documentary, and they go off and try to uncover what really happened. So it is like a mystery thriller, and I'm very excited. It is a massive book. The font is not my favorite. It is quite small. I thought there was mixed media in here, like her other books, but it looks like it isn't. I've seen some people have very mixed reviews about this. Some loved it, some hated it. But yeah, let's just see what this week holds. Today's Thursday. It's my dad's birthday, so you guys won't see this for at least another couple weeks, but it is my dad's birthday, so we're doing like a little thing for him at home with my sister and her daughter and her husband coming over. So we're doing something like very low key tonight, so I kind of have to help my mom prep everything. And then tomorrow is Friday. I might go see one of my friends who's actually in Cape Town at the moment, so we'll see about reading then. And then Saturday I have my first wedding dress fitting, so I have that. And then Sunday is Mother's Day, so that's a whole lot of days that is like completely, well, that can't completely be dedicated to full reading days, but I'm going to try my best. I'm really excited, and I do want to get onto my massive TBR. That's, you can't see down there, but I have quite a few books that I want to get into, and I've been holding off to film them. So yeah, it's gonna be busy, but I think from Monday till Thursday, because my videos come out on Friday, but today's Thursday, till Thursday, Monday to Thursday I should have loads of time, so hopefully I can get through it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get reading. This is like the longest first clip ever, but a lot of times I don't really talk in my videos. I mostly have lots of b-roll, but you know what, I've been thinking a lot about it. This is supposed to be a fun channel, so I'm just gonna have fun with it. So yeah, let's go ahead and get reading, and I will update you when I get a little bit further in the book. So it is currently like 1:30 and I went to sleep at 5 a.m. this morning and it was to finish this. So yeah, I think I updated you guys when I was like 30 something percent. I think it was 32%. Honestly, I read a little bit more before my dad's birthday dinner, and then once I got into bed after that, I just couldn't put the book down and I needed to know what happened. So I just read until 5 this morning, which is kind of unheard of for me. I'm really happy that I finished this. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars, I think. It just kept me enthralled. The main female character, her name was April. The first half of the book, obviously, she's kind of being victimized by the woman in her neighborhood. She's kind of just been left out. Her son is kind of problematic and I think he's a compulsive liar. A lot unfolds after that. I think from the about 70% mark is when I really was invested, and I literally felt like I wanted to just skim because I felt like there was a lot of info dropping in it and I didn't need to know those details. I just wanted to know what happened. The plot twist, a little bit predictable, but still was done really well, as Frida McFadden does. Yeah, I really enjoyed the book. I did make some notes, like just I think halfway through the book, but then I think that once I passed the 50% mark, that kind of went out the window and I was just full of theories, and my theory was wrong. It is a domestic thriller. It's really fast paced and I'd really recommend. Like if you're trying to get out of a reading slump, Frida McFadden is amazing for that. I did try to read the one with the red door. It's called Locked Door. I tried to read that, but I just couldn't get into it. But this one definitely did it for me, and I'm so happy I read it. And we are one book down for this video. Then this morning, I don't know if I explained that book very nicely. I'm trying my best here. This morning I started Verity. I am literally just one chapter in, and then I had to get up and get ready because I'm going for lunch with a friend. I'm really confused. So the font is really big, but the pages are also very large and it takes up a lot of real estate there. So it took me a bit to get through one chapter, and I also was just thinking about getting up and getting ready. But I did read the summary on the back. It's, from what I can surmise, I'm gonna have to go soon. It's about an author who is struggling. Her mom just passed away. She's going through all these things. She goes in for an interview and meets this gentleman, and he employs her to write and finish the novels of his injured wife. Obviously, in true Colleen Hoover nature, she falls in love with this guy and she wants to get the woman out of the picture. That's kind of what I think it's about. I think it's going to be very exciting and I cannot wait to read this. I'll probably be out for like 2-3 hours and then I'm definitely going to pick this up because it's so cold and rainy outside today. As you can see, I'm wearing a full-on coat. Very excited. I will update you some more once I've read a bit more. But yeah, very excited for the rest of the weekend and reading. Tomorrow I'm going for my first wedding dress fitting, so that will also take up quite a bit of the day. Yeah, very exciting weekend ahead. And Sunday is Mother's Day as well, so a lot going on. So I will catch up with you guys later. Good morning everyone. So I finally turned my desk around and just got myself situated to start filming because this week I just want to get my life together and I've done so well so far. We started filming this video on Thursday and it is Monday today and I've already finished 2 books. So the second book we did read was Verity. I didn't do a check-in because I kind of read sporadically. First I read just 1 chapter, and then last night I kind of just got so invested in this. I think that mystery thrillers are like one of my favorite genres. I have to admit, once I pick one up that's good enough to captivate me, I just cannot put it down. So we've already read 2 books that I've basically just read in 2 sittings. So initially I had just read 1 chapter, and then yesterday I read basically the bulk of the book, and I just read the last chapter this morning because I went to bed at like 2:30 a.m. this morning trying to finish this. I couldn't put it down. I know this book, it gets a lot of hate, but I did like it. I didn't like the last, I want to say 20 pages, and that brought it down a little bit for me. So my star rating for Verity by Colleen Hoover is going to be 3.5 stars. Still really good, still would recommend, and I feel like it was just really gripping, and it had all the twists and turns I needed. But unfortunately, like I said, the last chapter, I think there's a letter that she finds from Verity that just threw me off a bit, and I thought it was unnecessary to add that in order to make it a good story, where it was already rounded it up really nicely. So that last letter type thing just kind of, I was like, meh, she just added that in to like add more pages, and it just contradicted the whole story, which kind of could be the point, but not my favorite in that sense. So 3.5 stars. I was completely wrong about what I thought the book was about. I thought it was like plot to kill and all this stuff, but it really wasn't. It's about this really famous author who gets in a car accident, and her husband recruits someone as like a ghostwriter to complete her novel series, so obviously keeping the stream of income in. They have gone through a lot of tragedy, and this writer is kind of naive, and she's really young, and she's been through her own bit of trauma, so she can relate to him. They start to kind of fall for each other, which obviously isn't great because his wife is like injured and incapacitated upstairs, but slowly but surely, like, she's showing signs that she's actually faking her injury. Through a bunch of events, they find out a bunch of stuff, and at the end it kind of contradicts all the things we found out, all the discoveries we found, which I found kind of like unbelievable. Like that last letter it made no sense to me, and I feel like it shouldn't have been in the book. But like I said, if you like thrillers, if you like being creeped out and stuff, this was really, really good. And I think, dare I say it, Colleen Hoover did a good job. But 3.5 for me, just because I read a lot of thrillers. Like I said, I think it's one of my favorite genres. It just didn't hit the mark quite where I wanted to. It was still entertaining, still so fast paced, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think maybe for the first 50 pages I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like get through this. Am I gonna DNF it? But then it picked up, and yeah, I was very, very interested. That's another book done. I think the next book we are going to pick up is The Invocations, and this again is something I have not really dabbled in, which is like horror, mystery, thriller, fantasy. It sounds really interesting. It's a sapphic as well. I don't read many sapphic books, but I'm very excited to see what I feel. But like I said, I am kind of like in a full-on mystery mood. I'm throwing myself in it. I hope I don't get a book hangover. Can I speak? I hope I don't get a book hangover after this, just because I've had quite a few books in here that I really, really love. So yeah, once I start this, I'll let you guys know. I'm actually filming a makeup video now, so I will catch up with you guys later. Good morning. So sorry, I have Bailey Syrian on in the background. I'm again in my dressing gown. I'm not ready yet because I'm procrastinating because I'm going for my second dress fitting today, and I want to just get ready all in one and not have to I don't know, get changed again. Also, I spent the morning reading. I just washed my hair and did my nails. It's been a slow morning, but I wanted a slow morning this morning. So yeah, we are reading The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland, and I'm finding the writing to be quite boring. Like I said, when I bought this book, Rachel, Catherine, and her friends did like this for their book of the month, I think last month. I don't know, she made it sound like it was going to be like all evil and stuff like that. But it does feel like it's more like an education in the occult, because there's a lot of like info dumping, and I don't feel like there's an exact storyline rather than educating people on like the occult. So it just feels like a chore to read. It kind of feels like a textbook rather than a story being told. Like, I get that some of the stuff needed to be said, but now I'm like 150 pages in and it just still is like info dumping. It's like giving information on demons and spells and curses. I don't know, it doesn't feel like a cohesive story rather than just like info dumping. So yeah, that's just my opinion right now. I am still just trooping through it. I'm reading a lot slower than I did the other two books because it's not as gripping and thrilling. I don't know where it's going, but I don't know. It is also in third person, which takes me a while to get into because I don't like third persons. I don't know, maybe I'll read, there's only 384 pages, so maybe I can just troop through it. But if it takes me longer than like a day and a bit to read, I think I'm just gonna DNF it, because we only have till Thursday and today's Tuesday, so I can't be spending too much time in a book I'm not even enjoying. Maybe it'll just be like a soft DNF, because I could pick it up at a different stage, but I'm so into mysteries and thrillers right now that this should have grasped me, but it's not. It doesn't, I don't know. It's not hitting like I thought it would. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I'm gonna have my lunch and keep reading, and I'll let you guys know when I get a bit further if it changes at all. Font's also really tiny, so it's taken me a while, but I just want to get the book done so we can start the last book in this video. But anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello everyone. So I haven't done any makeup today. I have sunscreen on, hence why I'm so shiny. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I didn't do any b-roll yesterday, but I did read a little bit. I was really tired because I went for my second dress fitting, then went for like dinner as a family. So yeah, I got home not even that late. I think it was 9 o'clock. So I read till maybe midnight and I just couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. And as you know, we're reading The Invocations and I am currently on page 228. I'm this close to DNFing it. I kind of just want to know what's happening, but I do not like her writing style. It feels factual rather than telling a story. So it's just a bunch of information, like how curses are written. I think I've said this before, and now they've gone back to one of the main characters' hometown, and she's like from a coven of witches. So it's kind of like why this was done, why that was done, why this was done, why that was done, why this is like this, why that is like that. And it's like, can we just tell the story without so much explanations? As well as like when they're describing a scene or setting the tone, there's just too much description, and I'm like, get to the point. Why are they there? What are they doing? What's meant to happen? Like, it's frustrating. And like I said, the font is tiny, so it's taken me already a long time to read it, it's just making it so aggravating. So I'm finding myself skimming a lot of it. I don't know if I told you what the book is about, but I thought now would be the perfect time. This is going to be a long video, so buckle in. It is about 3 girls. One's name is Emma, the other one is Jade, and the last one is Zara. So they are all connected somehow because of something that happened to them. So it's already explained like in the first couple of chapters. Emma is a witch and she's a curse writer, and then Jade, she unfortunately played with magic and she has 3 demons attached to her, one unwilling to be there, and then Zara's sister was murdered. So she's kind of dabbling in the occult to try and resurrect her sister. So they've all lived, well, Emma literally grew up in a coven and she was left in the wild for like 4 years when she was 7 years old because witch hunters killed out her family. Then we have Jude, who comes from a really wealthy family but obviously played with the occult because she didn't feel loved, and she ended up putting a curse on herself incorrectly. So she's kind of been exiled from her family. So they're still paying to support her, but she's not allowed at any family things. And she's also just really struggling with these demons attached to her. Hence why she sought out Emma, just to kind of help her rid herself of these curses. But unfortunately, once you are tethered to a demon, you cannot sever that tether, because the demon wants what it's paid to. Well, it wants its payday, which is your soul. Then Zara is, like I said, her sister was murdered, so she's trying to resurrect her sister with like necromancy. So she's trying to figure out how to do this, and she literally will stop at nothing. She's very smart, quite a high achiever, but she's slacking in all aspects of her life because she's just focusing on getting her sister back, because kind of they had an argument before her sister was found murdered. So that's kind of the gist of it. So they're going through this adventure because now there are witch hunters out there, or just people killing off witches. So yeah, I thought it would be more interesting because like I love Sabrina. It's one of my favorite shows, and I love that whole, I don't love the occult, but I just find it really interesting, and like I thought this would play to that. It says that there's a lot of body gore in here, and it does describe like wounds and stuff, but it's not actually disgusting, because I hate gore, especially in like horror movies. So yeah, I don't know where I stand with this, but like I said, it's very like factual, not that it's actual facts, but just the way it's described, it's factual instead of like telling me a story. So I'm kind of getting really irritated with it. I am past halfway. Maybe I should just finish it, but I think I'm gonna try to read maybe another 100 pages and then see how I feel, because it just got a little bit interesting now. So yeah, we'll see where we end up, but I will check in with you guys probably later. Tomorrow's meant to be our last day, but if I can finish this book today and we start our last book, then I'll probably do it for an extra day, so maybe till Friday. Hello, check-in time. I finished the Invocations last night. I just trooped through. I read till like maybe, I want to say midnight, and I had like maybe 100 pages left. I was considering DNFing it, but I just wanted to know what happened. Like, it was interesting enough for me to want to know what was going on. I think the description of sapphic was a stretch. There wasn't much sapphicness in it at all. It was just two girls slightly attracted to each other, but that was it. Nothing crazy or anything. It was YA, which I wasn't aware of in the beginning. It's quite tame. I already told you the story. I already just edited the other clip, so I've already told you what it's about. They eventually find the witch hunters. They find who killed Emma's family. Oh my god, I hate it when I say because editing me is gonna hate this. You won't hear it, but editing me is gonna be so annoyed. So they find out a bunch of things. They dabble in necromancy, but it wasn't a book for me. It wasn't as gorish. It wasn't as horrific as I thought it was. I like watching horror movies. It's like one of my favorite genres, but this weak sauce. So I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5 star. It was enjoyable. I mean, the last maybe 70 pages was enjoyable, put it that way. The first half of the book was just so much explanation and basically no storyline, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend that anybody read this. So 1 new release down, 1 to go. It is Thursday, like I mentioned. I was probably going to extend the video, but I have some time. So last night, just before I went to bed, I decided to read 1 chapter of The Reappearance of Rachel Price. It jumps straight in, which is already intriguing, but the font is so small and it's also quite bold. So I'm hoping I can make my way through this, and we'll see how long it takes us. I guess this video can take however long, because I do have a couple of pre-uploaded videos. So we have some time to get through this, but I do obviously want to get onto some of my books, and I think this might be the last thriller I have on my TBR. I think I have one mystery left, which is part of a series, so that will be in a different video anyway. So it would be great to just finish this. But I will keep you guys updated about that's all I have to say. So let's see where this takes it. It is Thursday, I said that. So I'll try and read some tonight. I'm just crocheting a little bit now just to take a break. And then I will read some more of this evening. I'm hoping to make it a nice dent in it. How long is the book? It's over 400 pages. So like 430 pages. It would be great if I could make it at least halfway. And then tomorrow finish the bulk of the books. But I'll get back to you guys. I'm just rambling now. But yeah. See you guys in a bit. Hi friends, so honestly I need to find a new little saying for that bit because I'm always like, hi friends, and it's pretty annoying, I'm sure, as it is for me when I'm editing. But I thought I'd give you a little check-in. Big fail yesterday. The new season of Bridgerton came out and obviously I had to watch it, so I didn't get really far in the reappearance of Rachel. I think I said that weird, but the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. So I think last night I went to bed again quite late. This video is honestly going to be the death of me. My circadian rhythm is completely out, but I've just been like so enthralled by books, and I just also really want to finish this vlog right now. So I think I'm heading into a book hangover. Like I can feel it. Like just picking up a book is like a challenge for me. So hopefully it's not too bad because I do have a few videos planned for the coming weeks. But anyway, so I think last night I got to page, I want to say 88. Yeah, page 88, chapter 10. I honestly wanted to read some more because it is quite fast paced. Things have been happening quite quickly so far. Rachel reappears within the first 100 pages. Quite fast paced. I don't know where it's going. I have my own little theories, which I won't spoil for you, but I do have some theories. I am now on page 163. So I read about 80 something pages, I want to say, this morning. I'm really into it. Kind of just want to see where it's going. But I just feel like the book is so long. Like how much can actually still happen in there? So I know Holly Jackson's known for that, like especially in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I felt the same. It was just so dragged out and it could have been done in a lesser time frame. But I heard a rumor, I don't know if that's true, correct me if I'm wrong, but like authors, especially on like, I think it's Kindle Unlimited, they get paid per page that they write. So naturally they want their books to be longer. So I think there's a lot of fillers in here. But so far, like I said, the title says everything about the book. It literally is what the book is about. So Belle, her family agrees to do a documentary about the disappearance of her mother. Everybody in this town is blaming her father for the mother's disappearance. He even went to jail for 6 months, but then the jury found him not guilty, but people still have their suspicions about him. Her mother, Rachel's mother, is horrible to him, so rude, and hasn't even like been able to see Belle because she's holding such resentment, thinking that he killed her daughter, which I guess is natural. But then Rachel just reappears one day, and the story that she's telling, it is plausible, but at the same time there's lots of holes in her story, and every time she tells it there's a small minor detail that she's changed, and Belle is just like, it's not adding up. The math isn't mathin'. So she's now at the point where I am, her and the guy from the documentary, which I think I mentioned before. The guy, he's just like an assistant on the set, and the two of them have now already gone to like follow a lead where there were appearances of her, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. That's kind of what the book is about. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I could do a spoiler video. Let me know if you guys would like that, all 5 of my subscribers. I'm going to keep reading. It is Friday. I said we'd probably extend it by a day, but it looks like we might extend it by the weekend. We'll see how far I get. I'm hoping to finish this book hopefully fingers crossed by tomorrow. And I'm so committed that my dad is actually, well, he's gone shopping today for a new golf bag and asked me to go along with him. I said no. If you know me at all, which you probably don't, I love shopping and I love just like window shopping and buying makeup and books and stuff. So I said no because I really just want to finish this book. Like I said, I can feel a book hangover coming because the first 2 books in this video were amazing. The Invocations were meh, and this one seems to be gripping. I've heard that it has a little lull in the middle and I feel like we're heading towards that now, but fingers crossed that I don't completely burn out after this. But anyway, I've spoken for long enough. I made loads of mistakes, so lots of fun editing in this. But yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you guys and when I have more to say. Hi friends! So, finally concluding this video, I finished the reappearance of Rachel Price, and I'll tell you more about it close to the end of the video because I want to go through the other books first and then I don't have to repeat myself again. So we read 4 thrillers this week. As you know, well, last week, what am I even saying? I finished this video on Friday. Today is Tuesday because Saturday, Sunday, I was so burnt out from reading that I kind of just didn't want to pick anything up. I didn't even want to pick up the camera. Yesterday, my mom had the day off, so we had like a little girly day. We went like makeup shopping and book shopping and grocery shopping. So we had like a full little girls' day. So again, I didn't pick up the camera. But today I thought we'd just close up this video so we can start something new, which I already have, but that will be the next video you see probably. So starting off with the first book we read, it feels like ages ago, but this video I think took about 8 days to film. It feels ages ago now. So the first book we picked up was Want to Know a Secret by Frida McFadden. I'm so thirsty. I really did like this book. I gave it a 4-star. It wasn't 5-star material. It's not very in-depth. It's not anything to really write home about, but I really did love it. It kept me gripped. I just wanted to keep reading it. I think I started the book and then next day I finished it. So most of these books took me about 2 days to read. So that's an idea. I'm a slow reader, but that's an idea of how much I enjoyed it. I read it till 5 o'clock in the morning. So this follows our main character, April, who lives in quite a well-to-do neighborhood, and all their kids go to the same school. The mom have like PTAs and they do everything, but she also everything together and everything for their children, suburban life. She also has a YouTube channel where she does baking, so it's called like Sweet Treats with April or Sweet Secrets or something like that. And it starts off with her point of view and how everybody has now shunned her because her new neighbor came in, her son almost disappears, and it just feels like everybody is against her. Her mom has dementia and she's in a care home. But then when the point of view changes to her best friend, Julie, things unfold and it is so juicy and so interesting, and I actually couldn't put it down. I read till 5 o'clock in the morning, like I said, and I was just so enticed. In true Frida McFadden like nature, it just keeps you enticed. It keeps you going. It's like, honestly, like junk food. You know it's bad for you, but you just keep eating. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book and would 100% recommend. I had a really fun time reading it. It's like not a literary like masterpiece, but it definitely is entertaining and will get you out of a reading slump. So the next book I read was Verity by Colleen Hoover. Everybody knows what this is about. I don't have to explain too much, but it's basically about a struggling author whose mother just passed away from cancer. She sees something really traumatic in the first chapter, like a really like horrific accident, and she ends up like covered in blood, and just a random stranger that also would bore witness to it helps her out, helps her clean herself up, takes her into a cafe, and they have a little random chat, and she leaves, she goes to this interview that she has with a author or a writing company or her agent. The man who walks into the office is this guy that she met, and he commissions her to finish a series of books that his wife was in the middle of before she got into a really major accident, and she's incapacitated now in their house. So she kind of moves in with them just temporarily to go through all her notes and read her like backlist and just get a little bit more insight of where the book needs to go that she's writing. So there's 9 books in the series, there's 6 written, she needs to do the last 3. Secrets start being uncovered about Verity, who is the gentleman's wife, and secrets uncover, and she's incapacitated, but then there's little signs and signals that she's not really incapacitated. Lowen, she's like completely hell-bent on finding out and getting to the bottom of it. Verity has also written like a manuscript / biography, and it is dark, it is twisted, and she just cannot believe that her husband, what is his name? I think his name is Jeremy. Yeah, his name is Jeremy, and he's like really nice, really polite, loves his family. He's been through so much tragedy, but yet he's still like looking after his wife instead of putting her in like a home and stuff. And she just needs to get to the bottom of it. She thinks that the husband deserves better, but then things unfold as they should. The twist was shocking, but the end of the book wasn't great. Like, there's a letter that Verity writes and it's found, and then the last chapter was like a prologue. It didn't hit for me. It fell off a little bit from there. I think if she hadn't included that last chapter, I would have rated this a 5-star hands down. Due to that, I gave it a 3.5. I just think there was a little bit missing. I felt like some parts dragged on a little bit too much. Yeah, for that, I gave this a 3.5 star. I'd still recommend reading it. It's so easy to read. Again, I stayed up till like 2:30 in the morning to finish this, and it was really, really, really enjoyable. The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. This I picked up and I was intrigued by the cover. The back seemed really, really interesting. It's kind of about the occult and witches, and I'm not into those types of things, but I enjoy reading and watching shows about them. So we have Emma Bryn, who is a curse writer, and Jude Wolfe, who is cursed, but she cursed herself. And then we have Zara Jones, whose sister was murdered. So she wants to get to the bottom of her sister's murder. She kind of is dabbling in a little bit of necromancy, and she meets Jude at a crime scene that they kind of trying to surmise what is going on. So Jude has actually cursed herself. She was playing with the occult. She did a spell and it went horribly wrong. And due to this, her skin is rotting off her. Like, she's just a rotten piece of meat walking around. It does involve demons, like how demons are attached to people and you can choose to attach a demon in order to give you power. And Emma is a curse writer who only writes curses for damaged women or women that are in dire situations. So she gives them powers and strength and stuff. But someone is now killing off everybody that Emma has given these powers to or written curses for. So they go on an adventure and try to kind of see what's happening, who's the murderer, why is this happening. But in the end, like that to me, what I just said sounded interesting, but the book was kind of written like a manuscript or a textbook or a learning device for the occult, and I didn't enjoy that part of it. Like, the story took a backseat to the explanations of this curse is done like this and this is why this is done, and Henry VIII did this and Queen Elizabeth was in. I don't care. Like, tell me the story. Like, I want to know what is happening between these girls, not the history of the occult. So for that reason, I gave this a 2-star. It took me ages to read it, and I was in a bit of a slump after it. I felt like fully burnt out after I completed this book, and it kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. I thought it was fantasy. It is fantasy-esque in the sense that there is magic, but it's supposed to be a horror as well, but the scenes described weren't that horrific to me, and I hate like gory horror, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I gave this a 2-star, which isn't a bad rating. I probably should have given it a 1, but I did get through it. Some parts, especially like the last 30% of the book, was a little bit more intriguing and interesting, so enjoyed that. Lastly, like I said, we read the reappearance of Rachel Price. I am undecided on Holly Jackson. I absolutely loved Five Survive. I found it really fast paced. I got through it super quickly, read it in a night. There was unlikable characters. There was like just a lot going on that I enjoyed. This, however, was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't feel the lull that people thought there was. It was just, it dragged on a bit. Like, there was a part where it definitely could have ended already, and I felt like the book was maybe 100 pages too long. I felt like it could have like circled less around and around the fact that Rachel had reappeared. So we have our main character, Belle, whose mom was taken, kidnapped, disappeared when she was 2 years old. She doesn't remember a lot of it, but they agreed to do a Netflix not a Netflix, but a documentary about her mom's disappearance. She's not really keen on it, but her dad's making her do it, and whatever her dad says, she does, like, because it's just been the two of them all along. He's been there for her. He'll never leave her. So she just does this to appease him. They're about a couple weeks into the Netflix documentary, her mom reappears. Like, she just sees her walking along the side of the road, and she's like, what the fuck? She reacts really badly, just runs home and doesn't want to do anything about it. Anyway, so the book follows this whole journey, but Belle doesn't believe the story that her mom's told. She's kind of been changing little subtleties in the story, and Belle's noticed this, and she's like, I'm onto you. I'm really onto you. So she goes through her own little investigation with one of the cameramen assistants. His name is Ash. He's close to age than her, but he's like super eccentric. Like, I really liked his character. Belle, I think, was meant to be unlikable, but I related with her because I would have done the same in her position. So yeah, she goes through this whole investigation. The plot twist I didn't expect. I didn't think it at all. I kind of had ideas of why she had disappeared. I thought it was money or something like that, but it really wasn't. So yeah, it takes you on a journey and an investigation. It's like a true crime investigation. Really enjoyed it, but because of this bad bitch over here, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I could have. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's a lull. It's just a little bit of too much information in the middle, a little bit of info dumping that wasn't really necessary, and it just went round and round and round, and I was like, can we just, like, you know, get to the point? But I gave this a 3.75 star. It was almost a 4 star, just that little bit in the middle that a lot more could have happened. They could have gone a little bit less into detail and more into, like, Rachel herself, but she doesn't get a point of view. It's all told from Belle's point of view. So yeah, the twist I didn't expect to come in. The ending I really did enjoy, but like I said, something was just missing for me, and it could be that I was in a bit of a slump, but 3.75 isn't that bad. It's almost a 4 star. I was dabbling back and forth. Is it, isn't it, is it, isn't it? But I have to go with my gut feeling, and it just didn't feel like the best book I ever read. So yeah, that is everything for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought of these books and if you've read them. I'm going to do a little thriller guide because I think thriller is my genre. I have like maybe 8 to 10 books that I have read in the past and then in the present that has made me like really believe that thrillers / mysteries are my genre. So I've gone through years of just trying to find out. So yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, and I'll see you all in my next one. Thank you so much for spending the week with me. Bye guys.